Coach Greg makes you feel guilty for having cravings? Because I'm a calories in, calories out person? What? Coach Greg, and today we're going to go over a video by Triathlon Taren. This guy's a triathlon coach. He's riding bikes, swimming, running, doing the whole thing. He made a video, it's called Calories In, Calories Out Oversimplifies Your Weight Loss Struggles. So we're going to see, does it actually oversimplify it? Should we make weight loss more complicated? Or is simpler not actually better? Well, let's watch the video and find out.
So you know when fitness influencers say, well, it's just as simple as calories in, calories out.
Yeah, of course I do. I say it all the time. It's as simple as calories in, calories out. If you're in a calorie deficit, you're losing weight.
Yes.
End of the video, GregDoucette.com.
It is that simple, but it's also not that simple, because what that leads a lot of people to believe is that it's literally just willpower.
And yes, it is willpower, not Will Tennyson's power to eat donuts, willpower to not eat them. If you had all the willpower in the world and you ate at a deficit, you would get shredded. Every single person that had that much willpower would get shredded. So it is willpower, and so what's the problem? The problem is it's willpower. Does that not make sense? You starve yourself and you end up starving. And then you binge and you gain the weight back. So it is in fact willpower, but there are ways to make it easier. There are. If you had all the willpower in the world, you're losing weight. If you're not losing weight, you're eating too many calories.
And unless you are as fit as those fitness influencers, you don't have enough willpower to lower your calories enough to be fit like them.
No, being fit and having willpower has nothing to do with it. You can be extremely fit and have no willpower, or totally out of shape and have a lot of willpower. Willpower is willpower, and the point is, don't rely on willpower to lose weight, because eventually it will run dry. And he's going to explain something that's been missed by all of us. Apparently I missed something. Let's see what I missed.
You go in and you are at the start of losing a bunch of weight, and you go into one of those base metabolic rate calculators that...
Okay, step one, those base metabolic rate calculators, they don't work. It's make-believe numbers on the internet. Oh, I'm 5'6", 190 pounds. I need to eat 2,500 calories.
You know how in The Biggest Loser, all of these people, they go to the ranch and they just lose piles and piles of weight.
And they go on some ranch where they starve themselves, hardly eating anything and doing tons and tons of cardio. You know, a crash diet with excessive amounts of exercise that's not sustainable. And it's a competition to see who can lose the most weight the fastest in an unhealthy way.
But if you've ever looked at the follow-up, the vast majority of those people gain back all of that weight, if not more.
Yeah, let's go and see what they say. Let's listen to those people. The ones that don't diet properly. Yeah, let's just starve ourselves and do hours and hours of cardio. Yeah, that sounds sustainable. As soon as I get off the show, I'm going to keep doing that. Of course they're gaining the weight back.
Or maybe you have tried to lose weight and you lose a little bit, but then you gain back more. And then the next time when you try to do the same thing, you can't lose the weight anymore.
You rely on willpower that doesn't last forever, and eventually you give up. Growling's punch in your face. You're starving and you eat. And you can't stop eating because your body's making you eat, sending hunger signals, making you want to eat more calories so that you can get bigger, get some more body fat in case the next famine appears. It's evolution. That's what our bodies are trained to do.
Because they have less body weight, they would expect that their calories out would then all of a sudden only be 2,800.
You're in The Biggest Loser, you weigh 300 pounds, and you burn off about 3,000 calories a day. Then you lose 150 pounds, now you're half the person you were, literally. Why would you expect to only go down 200 calories when you're half the person you were? You're half the size. You need a lot less food when you're a lot smaller.
But what actually happened was the body slowed down all the way down to 2,300 calories.
It's lower than 2,500, it's 2,300. So when you eat 2,500, you're eating in a surplus. But if you want to stay shredded, you have to eat fewer calories. Don't keep eating more calories. And if you want to lose more, guess what you have to do? And it's sad, and I hate to be the one to tell you, you have to drop your calories even further.
Now, of course, you can go and then continue to make it calories in, calories out, and you can then go down below the 2,300 calories to continue losing weight.
You want single-digit body fat? Well, it's not the smartest move because you're trying to get something that most likely is unrealistic for you, but if you want to do it, you have to lower your calories even more.
But it just keeps getting harder and harder, and what ends up happening is your brain is eventually going to override your willpower.
Exactly. He clearly knows what he's talking about. He does agree with it. He's just saying it's not realistic for most people. Eventually, you're going to binge. Your willpower runs out.
And you aren't going to be able to control yourself. You will eat insatiably.
Another thing people don't realize is when you drop calories significantly, your body conserves energy. Your NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis, goes down. Well, what is that? That's the calories that you're burning when you're not exercising. Like right now, when I'm making this video. If I scream and shout and scream and shout and scream and shout again, I burn more calories doing this than if I say, guess what, people? You're going to burn more calories if you're in a deficit than if you're in a surplus. Not burning as many calories if I'm calm. If they play the music and you start bobbing the head and you dance, you're burning more calories. If you go out for a 3-hour bike ride and you're tired and you come home and you're like this, you're not burning as many calories if you're resting in bed tired all day than if you live a normal life. You go outside, mow the lawn, rake the leaves, do house chores. You're cleaning, vacuuming. You're burning off calories. If your NEAT goes down, you burn fewer calories. So you might go in a deficit at first and say, oh, wow, it's working. And eventually you don't lose any calories. Even if your weight doesn't go down, you lower your calories and your NEAT goes down. You're burning fewer calories because your body is more tired. And I caution you, if you diet to the point where you don't have energy and you're starving all the time, you've taken it too far. So as you can see, over time, your metabolism, it will slow down, especially if you don't build muscle. If you add more muscle, muscle is more metabolically active and will burn more calories. That's why Coach Greg at 190 pounds of muscle burns a lot more calories than when Coach Greg was a teenager and 140 pounds of muscle. Bigger muscles burn more calories in the same way that the Mack truck burns more gas than the Toyota Corolla.
And what I experienced was just unreal cravings. I would eat, 30 minutes later, I would be hungry again.
So if you starve yourself for too long, you're going to binge. The unreal cravings, you've had them, I've had them. Who hasn't had them? You keep eating, you can't put the fork down. When I first started doing bodybuilding competitions, I never dieted my whole life. I ate anything I wanted, all the chips in the world, candies, french fries, everything. Then I did a bodybuilding competition, had to starve myself to get shredded, didn't know what I was doing. Why would I know as a teenager? I didn't have a master's degree in kinesiology. I didn't have experience. I didn't have real world experience. I just said, eat chicken, broccoli, and rice. It didn't work. Yeah, sure, it got me to win the competition, but when the contest was over, the weight came back. It came back with a vengeance. Hunger. You want to see hunger? You think Stephanie Buttermore was hungry? Coach Greg was hungry. 59 bodybuilding competitions. I was shredded. But imagine how hungry I was after the competition was over, eating chicken, broccoli, and rice. So what did I do? I discovered the secret. Low-calorie dense foods. Low-calorie dense foods. Foods that have a lot of volume, massive portions, but with hardly any calories. That way you can eat till you're full. When you're full, you're less hungry.
So eventually, it would just come back and I'd eat and I'd eat and I'd eat, and I could not control it. And that is not something that I believe that you can control or really should have to control.
No, you shouldn't have to control it. That's why you get the cookbook. So that when you're starving, you want to binge all the time, you eat the foods in the cookbook and it's solved. So sure, you want to rely on willpower? People say, oh, if you had enough willpower, you could lose the weight. Yeah, they're right. Yeah, they're right. And trust me, I have more willpower than most. And even I, as a professional bodybuilder, can't stick to a boring chicken, broccoli, and rice diet. I can't. I don't have that kind of willpower. I don't want to have that kind of willpower. I'd rather eat from my cookbook the foods that I love, that I enjoy, that are delicious, nutritious, and full of protein to help me build muscle.
So all of these people that just say, well, it's just calories in, calories out. Yeah, like that's simple math, but that's not what people are going to experience.
Unless they have my cookbook, and then of course that's what they're experiencing. Of course. I'm not saying you're gonna get your dream physique with my cookbook. Get halfway there. And isn't halfway to your dream good enough? You want to lose 100 pounds? Wouldn't you love to lose 50 without suffering? Sure, you could suffer and be starving all the time, have no energy, and lose 100 pounds, just like they do on The Biggest Loser. But guess what? Your willpower eventually will come to an end, and you gain the weight back 95% of the time. So a few out there are like, oh, I did it. Yeah, you're that 5% of those people that could do it. For the rest of us, we don't want to suffer like you do. We want the freaking cookbook, over 2,500 testimonials from Cookbook 1. Said it changed your life. Transformation's unbelievable. That's Cookbook 1. Cookbook 2 is twice as good. Twice as anabolic, twice the recipes. More amazing than last time. Get Cookbook 2. If you can't afford it, just watch more of my freaking videos. I post recipes online, and I explain to you how to lose weight to keep it off for the rest of your life.
And all of those calories in, calories out people are just going to make you feel guilty for having cravings.
Coach Greg makes you feel guilty for having cravings? Because I'm a calories in, calories out person? What? No, I don't want to explain to you exactly why you're binging. Ghrellin's coming for you, punch you in the face. I keep telling people this. I explain, I don't BS you. I'm not lying to you, I have integrity. What I say is truthful. I'm not going to deceive you. I'm telling you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear.
Don't torture yourself thinking that you just have to constantly lower and lower and lower and lower calories.
But you do though, or you need to burn off more. You have to lower your calories more or do more cardio to expend more energy. You got to do one of those. Get the cookbook, and then that makes the lowering the calories easier because you're full eating foods you love.
Know that I'm going to try to be here for you as much as I can as I am working through this.
Maybe you should get my cookbook and promote it to the people you coach for triathlons. And maybe you should race Coach Greg in his Zwift bike race. You up for the challenge, Mr. Triathlon Coach? You can beat a bodybuilder, right? Not just a bodybuilder. Let's see you race Coach Greg. Friendly race on Zwift. So imagine you say, yeah, you didn't lose weight because you tried calorie restriction and over-exercising, both of which will make you lose weight. Problem is you can't stick to it. You're not sticking to it because you don't enjoy it enough. If you loved exercising all the time, you wouldn't mind riding your bike 10 hours a week. If you love lifting weights, you don't mind training 6 days a week. Just like if you love your diet, you don't mind eating the food on your diet. Like Coach Greg, why do you think I'm riding bikes? You think it's because I have to? Or do you think it's because I want to? And why do I go to the gym lifting weights? Not because I'm forced to, because I like lifting weights. And why am I eating French toast and wraps and protein ice cream all the time? Because I like it. Keeps me full, I like it. When I eat popcorn, I'm not like, oh, shucks, I only get to eat popcorn. No, I'm like, this is amazing. I love my diet. If you get the cookbook, I hope you'll feel the same way. Chances are you will. Why not go for it? You still on the fence? Why not take the leap of faith? I tell you it's going to work. I don't lie. Ended it here. GregDoucette.com for coaching. Greg Doucette IB Pro. The bloops are over there. Follow me on the TikTok, the Instagram, the Reels, whatever. Follow me harder than last time. And until next time, buy my freaking cookbook. I am out.